Hello, thanks for listening to Big J Sports Bros podcast. This episode was previously recorded under the old name. Due to the lack of editing and laziness, we did not want to go back and change anything, but it's still in the same spirit as our current name and brand. Hope you enjoy. What's up, guys? I'm Luke.
I'm Isaac.
And we're back with our sports podcast.
Good to be back.
New rebrand. We're going by coaching from the couch. I think that fits well.
I like it better.
Yeah, definitely.
We're washed up former athletes that scream at the TV.
For sure. We think like we know what we're talking about. I think we do.
I know
most
what
of
I'm
the
talking
time.
about. I just don't have a platform.
For sure. And now we do. So now you get to hear us coach from the couch. Yeah, man. First new episode, first new show. I'm looking forward to it. We picked a good time. A lot of sports stuff is happening at the moment.
It's been a minute.
So I don't know. I feel like we're gonna get some dust off the machine right now. So I'm looking forward to this. We're gonna make it a weekly thing every Monday. We'll put it out every Monday.
Check us out.
Yeah. But hey, without further ado, let's get started. Week 9 NFL. I would say I think it's been a pretty good season. I think it's been plagued by officiating and non-contact injuries, which we'll talk about right now. I guess what are your thoughts so far this season? We're nearing the midway point.
Yeah, based on what I've seen just from the season, from the couch, is I feel like no one's really separated themselves. There's a few, you could say maybe
Eagles.
Maybe the Eagles just because they've only lost one game, but they've looked kind of flat. My Rams, we looked good against the Eagles. I was at the game. I felt like we could have won that game. Just
for sure.
We're not as talented as the Eagles, so if a talented team plays the Eagles like that, they're probably going to win. The Chiefs, defending champs, to me have looked underwhelming, but they've been beating some of the teams that I think that they should be losing to.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. The Ravens, they bullied the Seahawks today. So
and they bullied the
Detroit
Lions the previous
so
week.
If that's who they're gonna play in the Super Bowl, and then I think they play the Eagles later this season. You have to double check that, but yeah. I feel like they play the Eagles this year.
No,
they don't.
So Ravens, they're actually gonna play your squad.
I know we're playing them as well.
They're gonna play both LA teams towards the end of the season. Dolphins, Niners. I think Niners is going to be a test to see how legit they are. Granted, that's another team that kind of fell off.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy.
The Brock Purdy honeymoon has, for now, ended.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And they realize maybe he's just a 7th round pick with a bunch of Hall of Famers surrounding him.
And then, the thing is, every quarterback needs help like that. But, some quarterbacks don't get all-pro talent the way he did. Either.
Not as collective as
right.
that. It's
you
spread
might have
out.
one receiver, one running back.
But for him, it's the Avengers and Hawkeye. He's Hawkeye.
For real, useless.
Not useless, but certain skill set.
For sure. Dang, what else? I think it looks like after this week, Miami might be frauds. Which is kind of crazy because Tyreek started off really hot. I think he was already breaking records, fastest, on pace to reach a certain milestone.
1,008 games or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
He has 1,008 games.
Right.
They're good. Just from
but
what
I see that they can't beat against winning teams. Above 500 teams can't beat them.
I saw a tweet that. They haven't beat a winning team in 400 days.
Is that coaching? Is that fraud alert? There's nothing wrong about being on fraud alert. At least in my opinion, it's just okay,
maybe fraud alert. They weren't worthy of maybe the push they got from other sports media.
Right.
But they're good. They're talented. You know what I mean? They got Tyreek, Tua. Tua's a serviceable quarterback. Jalen Waddle, Mostert. Bradley Chubb,
H-Chan before he got injured.
H-Chan. I think him getting hurt probably
derailed him a little bit, yeah.
I mean, that's
Jeff Wilson's not horrible either.
He's not. Mostert's not either, but then they would have had just
just a bunch of dynamic runners.
Dudes you could rely on to get 5 yards a carry. Like, you know what I mean? That's big.
I don't think the Chiefs are as good as...
Chiefs aren't as talented as before.
I know, like, they had, like, that big win against Miami, which is
still
a good team.
It's a good one.
But they also lost to Denver, but then you also take into consideration, like, division rival. Like, anything
division rival, snow game.
And then,
Russell Wilson's actually playing really good. Just the team around him, I think, isn't as good as maybe his Seattle teams or whatever.
Yeah, I would say so. Bills is always talked about as being like one of the best.
After this week, I'm a certified Cowboy hater, but after last week and this week, I know you as a Cowboy fan, I wouldn't sell my stock on the Cowboys. They're going up. You finally have Dak playing.
He had a great game today.
Yeah.
It's really hard for me to bash him.
You have Dak playing.
If we had recorded this like a few minutes before,
you probably would have.
I would have been like hating on him. You know, the emotions are down now, and I could say that he played a really good game. I think it was misfortune that I would say coaching today. Game.
Coaching towards the end, Mike McCarthy mismanaged the game. From the couch, that's what I saw.
For me, I think the quarterback has to get the ball off. Like McCarthy couldn't save him with a timeout. So
he's got to just take initiative and get them out of the sticky situation.
And then our right tackle just came back from like an ACL injury, and so he gave up some big sacks, and so
that too. It's a good team. It's not like we lost a stinker to a bad team or mismanaged a situation like that to a bad team.
People like to hype up the Chargers still. I don't think they're very good.
Nah, not really.
I
was one of those.
It could just be the SoCal push and the media outlets.
I was one of those people just because I like Justin Herbert. I think he's good, but as a whole, like, I don't know. That team's just weird. They're cursed, like how everyone says.
Lions. I think I feel like people like stopped kind of like
overrating them.
Yeah, I think they're properly rated.
They're
now,
good,
but they were definitely.
They're a division winner, home playoff game. Where they go from there, I don't know.
Yeah, that's gonna come down to coaching because that team is fairly inexperienced in the postseason.
Fairly, they're just talented and young.
Goff. Montgomery's was playing really good. It's nice to see rookie Jahmyr Gibbs get his touches, which is always a plus. Yeah, that's been cool. I know people are like excited about that fantasy wise. Jonathan Taylor came back, hasn't really popped off really. I don't know if that's really like the team's fault or.
I would have to check out the highlights. He's good though.
He is good.
Just give him the ball.
Zach Moss has done pretty well too.
So they have a good line. The core of that team is like just O-line and defense. Anthony Richardson's good, but he can't finish a game.
I will just publicly say I had to die on my sword. I did swear that JT wouldn't come back
I thought so too. It didn't make sense.
But, shout out to our friend. I was wrong.
Yeah.
I should have submitted that right now. But yeah, Steelers, I think people had high hopes for them coming into the season. Just really boring football. I think they're
good.
I don't think so.
We played them last week? 2 weeks? 2 weeks ago? And I was there. I thought we should have won that game. They didn't. It's not pretty how they get it done, but they get it done. Josh Allen said a few weeks ago, like, they're all the same. It doesn't matter how pretty they are. W's a W.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of agree with that. And then I think just sometimes they always, like, put the graphics up that Tomlin never has losing seasons. He just gets it done.
Technically true.
It's true. Sometimes it's not pretty, but I would at least like, if I was a Steelers fan, maybe like 12 wins every now and then, 13. For sure.
Like he'll get you the 8 wins and still make the wild card or something like that, right?
Good coach.
For real. You want to pull up the division leaders right now, and then we'll move on.
Yeah.
Kansas City Chiefs 7-2, leading the AFC West. AFC South, we got Jacksonville Jaguars. Dang, that was a team that kind of a slow start. I'm glad that they're kind of picking it up again. Travis Etienne's playing out of his mind. I don't know, man. I remember
the Texans will beat them again.
Yeah, they could happen. Ooh, CJ Stroud, 4 touchdown game.
Stroud boys. I was trying to get that to be my fantasy name.
Yeah. Well, since we're talking about him, did he break the Ohio State quarterback curse?
Maybe he's the outlier.
I was on that train of the OSU quarterbacks aren't good for a very long time. And you swore that this guy was different. I think after watching him in the college football playoffs, I was like, dang, he actually is kind of a baller.
He's really good.
He's a big body. He has a good cannon.
Very accurate.
Fearless. Yeah.
Very accurate, too.
That, too.
That's slept on. He throws really good. And then when he came out in the draft, they tried to, like...
Say he was an idiot, basically.
Say he was an idiot. Say he couldn't process the field, find open guys. But then you see his college highlights, and it's against Georgia, it's against Michigan, it's against good teams, and he plays good. So he's obviously a good player.
Right. Let's see. AFC North, Baltimore Ravens. They're picking up steam. I think we've already kind of discussed that earlier. 7-2.
Have they played the Bengals yet? They already did, right? The Bengals. They beat the Bengals?
Yeah. Bengals are 5-3. People just said, like, hey, like, it's just typical Joe Burrow, just going to play really bad at the start of the season, and then I'm going to pop off. I know Jamar Chase had a really slow start, too. Fantasy-wise, I was pissed off, but it's okay now. I think he's back on track.
I like Joe Burrow and the Bengals, but not that I think the slow start should be held against him, but you know what I mean?
He definitely shouldn't have played.
He shouldn't have played, but
sat out
he's been healthy and had slow starts, so I think people don't hold him accountable for that.
I'll agree with that one.
That they just say give him the benefit of the doubt because he plays better later, that it's okay he plays bad earlier. Oh, you were right.
AFC East, Miami Dolphins are still on top, 6-3. And then I
think they'll win that one. I like them.
Buffalo's too inconsistent. I really don't think they're gonna do much. I think people are realizing Josh Allen as an inconsistent quarterback. That might be a hot take. He has a great arm, throws a cannon, kind of fearless when he has to run, but a little too sporadic, kind of. I don't want to say not clutch, but definitely makes dumb decisions. That offense sometimes sputters out. I think that defense holds its own for the most part from what I've seen.
Yeah, they're good. They got good rushers, good up front. Sometimes I think Josh Allen has like Cam Newton syndrome where he feels like, and he kind of is, like he's kind of the focal point of the offense, but I feel like if Cam Newton had a wide receiver like Stephon Diggs throughout his career, he would have probably had a longer career, so you know what I mean? I feel like he doesn't, I don't want to say value or whatever Stephon Diggs, but like they could definitely get Diggs the ball more. They could probably run it more. Maybe not have Josh Allen run it so much so he gets
banged up,
injured, yeah. Luckily he doesn't get injured.
It's a big body. All right. Let's move to NFC. NFC East, Philadelphia is still reigning on top. I'm just going to show my bias. I think they're a very beatable team. Washington came close to beating them twice already. You already mentioned it earlier. Rams had a pretty good shot at beating them. I don't know how they get away with it. I've watched the games. I could say something about the refs. I won't. I feel that's just a cheap excuse. They somehow pull away. Yeah, we could talk about the tush push and how it's unbeatable.
I think they just run the ball good.
They do. I'm sick and tired of Jalen Hurts throwing a duck and then getting the PI. He's mastered that somehow.
The whole NFL has, but yeah, they do it good because they have the vertical wide receiver threats that you got to respect the deep ball.
I think them abusing it should cause attention. People want to say, like, oh, we should ban the tush push. Ban that. Like, I feel like the NBA has done a good job about, like, all right, like, let's stop the flopping. Like, we're going to start, like, penalizing you for it. Like, at a certain point, I think, like, the NFL needs to start punishing, like, loopholes.
Yeah,
like, in the
that'd
system.
Be nice.
Like, we need to be...
I think more no calls. I think me and you have had a conversation about the no calls. And sometimes...
Like, letting them play, you mean?
Yeah.
There needs to be more of that in the NFL, I agree. It's a physical sport.
Unless it's clear and completely abundantly clear that the person committed the penalty, you should throw it. If it's not and it's very subjective, then I'm going to need you to pick that flag up.
Yeah. NFC North, Detroit Lions, 6-2.
That's why a very fun concept. I would love to be a ref for a game just to see, like...
Yeah, it's like...
what my rating would be, my approval rating would be.
Right. Or just to see how stressful it is.
That too.
I don't think we give them enough credit. It's pretty...
That too.
Because, like, you're affected by the crowd, too. You got giant men yelling at you, getting in your face. Kind of have to hold your ground. It's a lot of stuff to take in consideration.
I think it's very clear, though. I don't get how it's so bad sometimes. I get it's easy to say that from the couch, but sometimes it's terrible. It's like
blatant holds, blatant like PIs, missed calls,
blatant offsides, blatant neutral zone infractions,
or just like calling it like on something that's very ticky tacky, especially like when you see like a corner and wide receiver playing patty cake. I think you should just let it play out. Like, they're both grabbing each other. Yeah.
That or I'm doing offset penalties, and then it's like, what's the point of me even calling the flag? Because they're offsetting.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, NFC North, Detroit Lions 6-2. I think we already touched on them. Not much really.
They got that division. Maybe the Vikings.
Josh Dobbs, Minnesota Vikings.
Relating.
Didn't start Jordan Addison. Might be a big mistake. Dobbs is a beast. I'm happy to see him get the spotlight. I think me and you have both said we're big Josh Dobbs fans. I liked him at Tennessee.
He's a good QB.
He beat my Cowboys with the Cardinals, and I respect him. So I'm glad he's getting his time to shine. NFC South, we got the New Orleans Saints at 5-4. That's a trash can division.
They got that.
But they should walk away with that.
And they got the good enough defense where that if they play a team that, not that isn't good, but like I could see them beating the Lions because their defense is so good.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
something like that. You know what I mean? They're just gonna just.
Is Chris Olave still playing?
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder what's gonna happen with that.
Well, I haven't.
There's like a whole video about it.
Damn, I didn't see
like, you don't know who I am? I play for the Saints. Nice. NFC West, your division. Niners on top at 5-3. Seattle Seahawks 5-3. That's gonna be interesting. It's a very possible that I think Niners kind of fall.
I mean, at least.
Granted that they got Chase Young,
they're on the bye. They won the bye. But going into the season, I always felt like the Seahawks were a sleeper Super Bowl or NFC Championship participant.
Yeah.
Just because they did so much, they drafted so well, they really, really
pretty much the same team from last year.
Basically, but they really, really got helped out by trading Russell Wilson to the Denver Broncos. That really resurged their team.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of young talent. Witherspoon's really good. Jackson Smith-Njigba. They drafted a bunch of dudes from that trade the year before.
Kenneth Walker's a dog.
Kenneth Walker. There's Mafe or something.
You got Jamal Adams back too.
Jamal Adams is back. Bobby Wagner's back from his LA vacation.
Yep.
I like them. I think when it's like said and done, them and the Niners will probably. I think my scenarios for NFC Championship is divisional, so probably Seahawks, Niners, Eagles, Cowboys. Those are my NFC Championships.
For sure.
Any of those combinations.
I guess before we move on to the next topic, any predictions for the rest of the season for your Rams? Granted, we're going to talk about them again, but I guess what are you looking forward to next week? You got Seahawks.
I think we're going to win that game.
On the 19th? Wait, you have a bye week?
Oh, next week. So we're going to get a win because of the bye. Some dudes are going to get healthy. I think Kyron Williams is on IR. He'll probably be back for the Seahawk game.
Maybe Matthew Stafford.
Probably Matthew Stafford. I feel like he could have played today, but it was just
Was Puka hurt?
No, Puka played. We were playing with the backup quarterback, so Puka wasn't getting his stats that he would have.
For sure.
I love Puka. That was a good draft pick.
Compliments Cup really well.
He's basically like Robert Woods, but built like Debo.
For sure. He's a tough guy to tackle.
He's our Debo.
Fights for those extra yards.
I don't want us to tank, but I would just like us to win the games that I feel confident we could win. So, like, for our schedule coming up, you got it right there?
Bye week, you got on the November 19th, you got Seahawks at home.
I think we should win that game because we won that game with the same roster in Seattle. You could say that
was a really good win, too.
And we blew them out, so I think that's an upset game that I would like for us to win. I don't really care about draft right now. It's all about finishing this season strong and proud. So I would like to win that game. Right. I think we have the people to win it.
26, you got Cardinals at Arizona.
We should win that game. They are not a good team.
December 3rd, you got the Browns home.
We'll probably lose that game.
Yeah.
The Browns are good. Good defense.
Mm-hmm. Deshaun's back. I think they're back on track. I think Kareem Hunt's been serviceable.
Mark Cooper.
Yeah, Mark Cooper. Ford kind of did his job, too, so that's always nice. For my boys, We got a tough rest of the season, honestly. I really don't know what to expect.
We still got another game with the Eagles.
Yep. Another game with the Eagles. So, on the 12th, we go the Giants. They're falling apart. Daniel Jones got hurt today. Saquon, I don't know if he's coming back.
They're a bad team.
Yeah, just a bad team. I don't feel bad for them as a franchise. So, who cares? Then we have at Panthers. We should win that. Hopefully, we just don't take our foot off the pedal. We, got to go in there, take care of business, and come home. 23rd will be our home. Oh, no, for Thanksgiving, we play against the Washington Commanders.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Sleeper team.
Sleeper team.
Very talented.
I think, hot take, they should move on from Ron Rivera. I feel like this team is too talented to be losing. Give Eric Blandby his chance to be a HC. Sam Howell slings it. You got Scary Terry, Jahan Dotson.
Basically.
Good running back duo. Defense was good until you traded away everybody, but that's fine. All right, anyways, let's go into college football. Week 10, top 25 poll just came out. We got Georgia at number 1, Michigan number 2, Ohio State 3, Florida State 4, Washington 5, Oregon 6, Texas 7, Bama 8, Penn State 9, Ole Miss 10, Louisville 11, Oregon State 12. Nice, represent. Utah 13, Tennessee 14, Oklahoma State 15, Missouri 16, Oklahoma 17, LSU 18, Kansas 19, Tulane 20, James Madison, sweet, I don't know, 21, Notre Dame 22. I'm surprised they're still in there. I'm surprised they're not at 25 if I'm being honest, but that's just Notre Dame hate for me. Arizona, a team that you said is very slept on and very good, 23. North Carolina at 24, and Liberty 25.
Damn.
I don't know. I don't think I'm very mad about this list. I think Georgia had a good win. Granted that people have been saying that they don't deserve that number 1 spot, but they're just getting the Bama treatment at this point.
Keep on winning it.
Winning against trash can teams, relatively close games, but you still come out on top. It's just the luxury of being national champions back to back. So. Nothing you could do about that. I think Michigan is still on fraud alert. I really don't think McCarthy's that good. Granted, they haven't really played anybody either, but they have Penn State coming next week, so I guess we'll see what happens. Ohio State, I don't know. I think it's the same narrative every time with Ohio State. They're winning, and then when the big game comes, we'll see if they're legit or not. I really can't speak on them. Granted, Marvin Harrison Jr. is really beast, and that quarterback is doing a fine job, whatever. Florida State, that was a surprise one.
They're undefeated.
Yeah. 4, I think that's proper. Quarterback's doing a good job. That defense is, I think, the reason why they've been winning games for the most part. I don't think I'm really mad at this list. Normally I get mad at lists, but this seems pretty fun. Washington and Oregon over Texas. Texas is my team. I think that's fair. They've pretty much dominated most of their games. I think Texas has been in some close ones recently. That's all I have to say.
Me to nitpick, just I guess to make conversation, I'd put Washington at 4. They got some better wins to me.
I would just say it's just that Washington beat Oregon, so you can't put Oregon above Washington.
I would probably just swap Washington with Florida State.
I see.
I'd put Washington in the 4.
For sure. Oh, USC's out of the top 25. You want to talk about that? Your squad?
They're just not a good team. They're too reliant on Caleb Williams. No one plays defense. They finally fired the defensive coordinator that's been...
Alex Grinch.
Yeah, Cliff. What's his name?
Lincoln Riley.
Lincoln Riley's butt buddy for the last few years. So, I don't know if that means the defense will get better, but I guess they won't be able to blame that guy anymore.
For real. So, I guess we're going to see how it plays. Because, you still have to play Oregon?
Yeah, next week. Yeah. Or this Saturday. That should be a
if
good
they
game.
lose, are they still bowl eligible?
Yeah.
It won't be NY6 bowl.
Yeah, I think you just have to win 9 games, right?
Maybe.
You have to win 8 or 10.
I'm looking forward to Texas's rematch with Oklahoma. I know they got beat by Kansas, a team that we beat. I think we beat them pretty good.
They usually match up really well with Oklahoma for some reason.
It's Cowboys Eagles, I would say.
Yeah, it's a very close game.
Bama's becoming a dark horse, which just sounds weird to say. They're somehow winning games.
Oh, then Oklahoma lost to Oklahoma State.
Oh, shit, that's right.
I was like, damn, they have 2 losses.
Yep, that's right. Holy crap.
The loss of Bedlam shootout?
Yep, Bedlam shootout.
Yeah.
All the Sooner fans are upset. Like, oh, well, we own this rivalry. Like, yeah, you lost the last one, though.
What have you done for me lately?
That's what it comes down to in the sports world. I could see Bama sneaking into the playoffs.
Did they play Georgia? They probably don't.
That'd be
Georgia.
interesting. Jaden Daniels left the game pretty early, but I think that was a good win.
That's why it's good when whoever is in that opposite division from Alabama is like a top team, because then it's like, all right, like you can't just give Alabama the trophy every year.
For sure,
they gotta earn it. Because sometimes they play Missouri in the SEC championship. They play
Alabama
Florida.
State. Yeah.
Oh no, I'm talking about the SEC.
SEC championship
to go to the playoff or the BCS. They play LSU every now and then. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying LSU's bad, but as of recently, besides Joe Burrow, they haven't really been a national championship team in my eyes.
Right. Ole Miss went up 1. I think Lane Kiffin's overrated, but the squad's winning right now. I guess they're in that 10 seed.
They're talented, not since NAL, stuff like that. Right. He's a good recruiter.
How about Notre Dame? Let's talk about Notre Dame. People like to just ride that wand of Notre Dame, and I never understand it. Prestigious program, I get it, but
big
that
alum.
Hartman guy...
Big alum.
That too. I think Hartman's grossly overrated.
He's like Jimmy G. He sucks. He's just a pretty guy.
Pretty privilege?
Yeah. Male pretty privilege.
Yeah, I see more memes about him or like
being
more
good,
like thirst trap videos than highlights.
Throwing touchdowns.
Yep. I really have nothing else to really say about this.
I think everyone's else pretty properly ranked.
I would say so.
If we could nitpick, but to me, I feel like after the top 4, everything's just based on your record.
Yeah.
Record. Maybe if you want to be very woke, inclusive, you put Liberty, what was the other school? And James Madison in the top 15 just because they are undefeated.
For sure. But that's when, like, the strength of schedule comes
in.
And, like,
but then you could say that about the teams that are undefeated that are good. North Carolina's good. I like their quarterback.
Drake May, right?
Yeah, I'm a Rams fan, so if we're committed to losing, then I would draft him. Michael Penix is good. Good quarterback. I feel like he'll probably win the Heisman because they can't give it to Caleb Williams.
Yeah, after these last few games, you can't.
And you can't give it to...
Do you want to talk about the crying?
What?
You want to talk about the crying? Is it... I felt for him when I saw him go to his mom first. It's probably something I would have done. She's probably the first person I would go cry to if ever in a situation. But at the same time, granted, I never played at that high of a level. I wouldn't cry after some hard-fought regular season games. I only cried after my very last game. But then you made the argument that he's been balling out and they still lose, so... your best effort's kind of going to waste.
I mean, as a USC fan, I don't think he's been playing that great as of recently.
Ooh.
This season, at least.
Okay.
Just because of how bad the team has been, he's been overcompensating.
Right.
But this game, he played good, that it's like, damn, you know? I did everything I could, and we still didn't get it done.
And then who was that one coach that just blasted him on Twitter?
Oh, yeah.
He's a clown, though.
The Last Chance U coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk about that.
We don't need to talk about that. It's about Caleb Williams.
For real.
The other guy.
This is draft stock fall, do you think?
Nah.
Do you think he stays another season?
No.
You think he's gone?
Yeah. I think you would only stay in his like perfect world if you think that USC could win a national championship next year, and I don't
think they can.
I don't think they can either. There's better.
Another hot take, I don't think they've done anything to make people want to go over there. I think
they have. They would probably need to win out.
They need to
win out, and whatever.
You needed to win the Pac-12, if I'm being honest. You needed that momentum to go into the Big Ten.
Last year and this year, yeah. But, I mean, they'll still get them because it's, you know what I mean? It's Southern California.
Yeah.
It's Lakers, Dodgers. You know what I mean?
For sure. The name, the fame it carries.
It's a brand, a big brand. People want to play for big brands.
For sure. Any other college football news? I think you said Deion Sanders. Well, I guess he is the topic. Deion Sanders is the topic.
I think Shedeur Sanders needs to scramble more.
Colorado.
He's a good. He needs to be a dual threat. He tries to throw it too much, and sometimes I don't know if he's scared to get hit. I think all quarterbacks are. I would be if I was a quarterback, but
I want to know who get in his head too. Like why?
Yeah, why aren't you not running as much?
Yeah.
You're pretty athletic.
I don't know if he's trying to beat the stigma about a certain type of quarterback.
Something, but you gotta run a little bit more. Yeah. Something.
Because we're all gonna give you the benefit because we know your O-line sucks.
Yeah, basically, your O-line sucks. We need you to run.
Right. But if his O-line was good
and you were running, it's because you can't throw.
Right.
But we know you could throw, so just run.
That too. Dang, they had such a hot start. I think.
I didn't think they would win their first game.
I'm trying to phrase this. I wasn't all in on them after beating TCU and a really cool game against Colorado State. And beating Nebraska, which I don't know why was hyped. Matt Rule sucks.
I mean,
Nebraska sucks.
Devil's advocate, Nebraska sucks, bad coaching, but they do have some good players. Like, you know what I mean? They have NFL bodies.
For sure.
There's some big
They
dudes.
produce the talents.
Yeah.
For sure. Got it. But yeah, ever since then, I think they had a really good game against USC. That freshman wide receiver had a breakout game. Number 4 for his name. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't really expecting much from them. I think you're the first one to say, hey, they have the skills to compete at a high level. They just don't have the big bodies. But that coaching
just because he said that himself, he already knew.
Yeah.
He was like,
well, he finally admitted that recently.
Yeah.
But like at first, we weren't talking about that.
Yeah, he knew.
Personally, I'm going to give you credit. You're the first person to say that. Like, that's going to be their downfall, if anything, once they play against Bro Comp.
Which is why they matched up so well with USC. It's kind of why they came out good against TCU, but I also feel like TCU may have underestimated just how talented they were at other spots.
They also lost a lot of talent to the draft.
NFL guys. We have, 3 TCU players on the Rams. So,
what was this recent thing of who made the play calls this past loss?
So, the article that I read, I gotta find that thing.
They have a crazy coaching staff. A whole bunch of former NFL players and NFL staff want to be on the coaching staff, which I think is pretty cool.
Basically,
testament to his...
The offensive coordinator that was hired to start the season gave up his play calling duties to former head coach Pat Shurmur. This was just Dion trying to get on the right track and get some mojo for his team, and it obviously didn't work. Granted, they played a very good Oregon State team, so I don't know if you watched Oregon State highlights, but
I personally haven't.
When I check it out,
they've been under the radar for me.
It's a good defense, really good defense.
I know you're a big DJ fan, so...
Yeah, so I check them out, good defense, really good defense. So, you know what I mean? With the battle line, there's only so much that Shador and Deion Sanders and coaching staff can do when you just don't have the right bodies.
Well, next major sport, we got NBA. They introduced their in-season tournament. You can talk about the
You're going to have to
jerseys.
explain it to me.
I'll explain it to you. It's super weird to me as well. They introduced some alternate court designs. Obviously, I think it was flooding social media how horrible the new uniforms were.
So there's uniforms for the tournament?
No, they're just the new city editions, how they always bust them out every year. So basically, from November 3rd was the start of the in-season tournament. Championship round will be on early December. So it's just random group plays. So just random generated conferences within that. Yeah, so the group play games they're going to be marketed as tournament nights. So that's how casuals like us know this game counts towards the in-season tournament. Knockout rounds. So yeah, 6 groups, 2 wild cards. I really don't know. It's honestly super confusing to have an in-season tournament with a regular season record. I don't understand it really.
What does the winner get? Pizza party?
I really don't know. You want to hear the groups? Group A, you have the Memphis Grizzlies, Phoenix Suns, LA Lakers, Utah Jazz, Portland Trail Blazers. West Group B, Denver Nuggets, Clippers, Pelicans, Mavs, Houston Rockets. West Group C.
That just sounds like their conferences or divisions.
Yeah, Kings, Warriors, Timberwolves, Thunder, Spurs. East Group C, Boston Celtics, Nets, Toronto Raptors, Chicago Bulls, Orlando Magic. East Group B, Milwaukee Bucks, New York Knicks, Miami Heat, Washington Wizards, Charlotte Hornets. East Group A, Sixers, Cavs, Hawks, Pacers, Pistons. Every Tuesday and Friday are going to be the tournament nights. Yeah, man. I guess it's just it's a prize pool. So the money will go to the team.
So it's a money wash.
Basically, it's a money thing. I'm just
FanDuel.
It's annoying to just. It's annoying to even just like read this. There will be a MVP of the tournament. Oh, and also a selection of an all tournament teams, like the best players throughout the playoff in-season tournament. I really don't care for it, if I'm being honest. Maybe I'm not a huge basketball fan or NBA fan at that, but I just really don't know why this matters. I even went through the comment section on a few posts and see if they understood it. And it sounds like even NBA fans kind of don't really understand it. Even the media teams saying this is just a record, it doesn't affect the regular season. I think they did a horrible job trying to explain it. Even me reading it right now just sounds bad. Cool or not, I'm giving it not cool.
But it's all new things.
Yeah,
maybe it could be good.
For sure. I think people felt the same way about the play-in tournament for the playoffs, and I think that.
I thought the play-in was a good idea. It's just really wild card weekend for me.
Yeah, I like it.
And I like the wild card.
And it gives your favorite team a chance to make it.
Maybe if they start off slow, like the Lakers did last year, go to the conference final.
Right. Or I thought I think it was the first year that they did it was Washington Lakers in the play-in. Lakers won, so they automatically made it, but the Warriors still had a chance then to win the next round or the next playing game, which is cool, which is the reason why they've created it in the first place, to get the popular teams in, give them a chance. So yeah, maybe people's minds will change about it. Obviously right now I'm just not a fan. I don't really care for it. Why not give the money to some sort of charity? But then All-Star Weekend basically does that. The winner of the All-Star game gives their earnings to the charity of their choice. As you can see, I'm not very enthused about it. So
I get it. Me neither.
Ugly court designs too. I don't like it.
Too flashy.
Just over the top. A lot of the colors seem to be based off of the new uniforms that just came out, which are all ugly too. There's not a single one that I like. Even as a Mavericks fan, I don't like the jersey we have. I've already said the Lakers one was ugly. The black, purple, and gold.
They don't need black.
I just think basketball courts should just have the nice wood floor. I think football fields get away with the all, like a colored turf or whatever. But for the most part, I want green turf, green grass, and then you could decorate the end zones and then
whatever
the
color
midfield logo. You can make it cool. Other than that, don't really touch it. Same with NBA courts. Wemby. You could talk about Wemby. He was I think the joke was God sent this man to just stop the Jordan and LeBron debates, and I think that's kind of funny. He really is special. 7-footer has handles, plays defense,
jump shot.
Yep.
Touch.
People were bringing up KD couldn't even guard him. Granted, it's an old KD. I don't want people to hype up that passing of the torch, per se, but
I think LeBron's better than KD. So obviously he's way bigger than LeBron. They're different type of players, but not that he's.
So you need to see him cook LeBron.
Or Giannis, someone like that.
Or Giannis,
yeah.
Okay.
I think Giannis, if he cooks Giannis, because to me, everyone...
Joel Embiid.
Embiid, yeah. Stuff like that. Big men.
What do you think about Shaq saying, hey, we've seen this before? He's referencing Bol.
No, I know. He never really got a shot. Was he hurt a lot, though, Bol?
Yeah, I don't think he was that spectacular in college either.
I don't think so,
anytime I saw the highlights of Wemby overseas, I was like, this guy could hoop. He might be a problem.
No, yeah. I don't know. I saw a comment one time.
That could be just my ignorance talking too. So.
No, yeah. I don't know. I think he's good, though. It's good for the league. Especially because he's, Frenchman, so...
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Expands the game. He
went to the Spurs. They have a bunch of French players, so, you know what I mean? He's in good hands there.
For sure.
Lakers need to win the finals.
What do you mean they need to win?
Finals or nothing.
It's finals or bust? Not even Western Conference?
Oh, yeah, Western Conference. Yeah. Western Conference finals for sure. Playoffs, they should make the playoffs. They shouldn't even be in the play-in bullshit again. It should be the 1 or 2 seed. Yeah.
I would say your latest pickups haven't really shown anything. It's
a marathon. It would be
Me
nice
too.
to see them come in and just immediately be. But then I would not want them to come in, be immediately good, fizz out, and then just never be good. And it was like, damn, if only we could get you to play like how you did the first week.
For sure. I think that was like the complaint against, what's his name? Danny Green and like all those other like shooters that you tried
They
to
were
get
good right away?
across. Yeah.
I would rather you ease into it, just gradual progression, and then
Right.
take off.
I'm not really expecting much from my Mavericks. I think Kyrie and Luka have proven to not be the dynamic duo that
They
we
haven't
thought
really
they would be.
invested in much into
That too. We need to get a
Luka.
big. We need to get some other supporting characters. But other than that,
I don't know who, but something.
yeah.
Aiton.
That would be nice.
They could have got in on the Aiton sweepstakes.
And then we gave you guys Christian Wood.
Christian
which is
Wood.
a Big L. But you guys needed a big man.
Yeah, I mean, alongside AD, yeah.
Oh well.
I don't know, though. I think, I've told you before, I don't really think AD is, like, a true center. Would have been nice to get, like...
Yeah, he gets bullied by every center every time he...
He's a good defender, but not against a bigger, stronger center. Because I think of him more like a power forward than I would
Yeah,
center.
he chooses to run the floor anyways.
Shooting, like, jumpers, three-pointers, stuff like that. He's a stretch four that's, like, obviously taller, 6'11".
Right. Do you want to hear Wemby's stats the past few games?
Sure.
25th, he dropped his first game of the season. 15 points, 6 of 9 from the field, 3 of 5 from the three-point line, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals, and 1 block. Next game, 21 points, 7 of 19. He went 0 of 6 from the 3, 12 boards, 1 assist, 2 steals, 3 blocks. Then against the Clippers, he dropped 11 points. He went 4 of 10, 0 and 2 from the 3, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 4 blocks. Obviously with that reach, I would hope he'd come down with that. Then he kind of popped off these last few games. November 2nd against the Suns, 38 points, 15 and 26.
Dang.
3 of 6 from the 3, 10 boards, 2 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks. And then today, 20 points, 7 of 16, 2 of 7 from the 3, 9 boards, 4 assists, 1 steal, 5 blocks. I think he's off to a pretty good start. So yeah, I think the hype's real. Normally I'm like always about like stop the hype, but nothing you could really say against this guy.
Yeah, no. He plays good, shoots good, sounds like all around just efficiently good. I think just being the big man, able to shoot and dribble, it'll take him a long way. He's basically going to avoid all the bumps and bruises because he's kind of a frailer body, because he could shoot and dribble so good.
Right, like he's not going to be driving.
He's not going to be trying to dunk on everybody, basically. He could if he wants to, if he's dumb, but if he wants to add, like...
He seems to have a little bit more finesse in his game and chooses that
basically. That's why Giannis, I feel like, probably gets hurt, maybe. Because he's always trying to drive in.
Well, he has the body to endure
that, too. He's built like that, but he could take some hits off of him if he just shot the ball better.
Yeah. MLB season just ended. Rangers, team that was speculated to kind of make it, but then
kind of
fizzled out really hard. It was brutal as a Ranger fan. But hey, started bumping Creed and they came back and won. Go up there and take it has been like their slogan. I think they did exactly that. Do you want to share any insight to your Dodgers? Or how about you want to share your insight to like the current MLB playoffs? I know a lot of people were trying to say that it's unfair to the good teams, and then obviously the response to that is like, well, they need to play better.
I think only the wild card should be like the short amount of games. So maybe wild card best of 5, and then from there on NLDS, NLCS, World Series 7 games.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that's fair.
What about your Dodgers?
I mean, I still think they should have been more competitive in this playoff season, but to me, this wasn't a team that I thought going into was like, we're going to win the freaking World Series.
Right.
But it was a team that, it's the Dodgers, it's a well-run team. We're going to be in the playoffs. Now, whether they win the World Series, frosting on the cake, but it's a playoff team.
Dave Robertson officially in the hot seat?
I think so, but I think, like I said, it's kind of like the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like, kind of a good run franchise, that even the little shortcomings like that isn't enough to get rid of a coach. Because then I feel like it would just make for probably like organizational.
You could definitely cause some beef within the organization. Like, hey, why'd you get rid of him?
Not beef within the organization, but dysfunction. There you go.
Okay.
It would lead to dysfunction. Because I don't know if it gets much better than Dave Roberts. I think stars need to play better. Mookie Betts,
That's what people were saying.
Freddie
It really comes down to
Freeman,
them.
Kershaw, stuff like that. But there's always next year. Got a lot of money. Otani's on the free agent market, so you know what I mean? Maybe look into that. There's a lot of good free agents available. They have a checkbook now to spend, so hopefully they make some moves.
I mean, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. You know, Dodgers are always gonna be in the sweepstakes to land a big player. Trout might leave the Angels as well, which will be interesting. I can't really think of any other big stars that are gonna be leaving anytime soon, or wanting to leave.
There's a few good pitchers out there.
I know Bauer.
Trevor
has a
Bauer.
good chance to come back into the league.
Blake Snell's really good. He's a free
There
agent.
you go.
He's on the Brewers. I think it's Corbin Burns. He's a really good pitcher. Josh Hader's a free. There's a good free agent market right now.
Sounds like right up your guys' alley.
A lot of pitchers are free agents, but you know what I mean? So many pitchers out there. It's just
As long as the Rangers just re-sign Adolis Garcia and just beef up the bullpen, I'm chilling. I'll be okay. We got the hitters. We spent money on what? Simeon, Seager. Just got to spend money on.
They already spent money on them, so you don't even need to worry about.
Shout out to Seager. I was pretty hard on him. I should just openly say I was hard on him. Had the best season so far. Not of his career, is it? He's putting up career numbers.
I'd say it's up there.
Definitely his best season with the Rangers.
The best season with the Rangers for sure.
Caught him out for getting injured or kind of he just wasn't showing the same flashes that he was with the Dodgers, but he definitely proved everybody wrong this upcoming season. You want to talk about how Dodger fans are simping over him? Do you want to?
Yeah, I think it's kind of gross.
You want to share it?
It kind of bothers me. I see too much clips of it, and it's really annoying. Like he's not on our team.
That's our guy.
He's not on our team anymore. He used to be. Let it go. I kind of do the same thing with Jock Peterson, just because I like Jock Peterson, but he's not on the team anymore. So it's just it's like your ex-girlfriend, I guess. Just look at a distance.
Be happy. Don't bring.
Yeah, be happy. Live and forget. It's annoying.
Yeah. Hey, congrats to my Rangers.
Makes me want to follow all these Dodger accounts that I follow.
I got so many, but just because I send them as troll purposes.
Yeah, it's annoying. I don't like it.
For sure, man. Dude, I think that covers most of what we wanted to talk about today. We were just going to end with a few segments, and then we're just going to wrap it up for our first episode. Let's see. We call this one Rage of the Week. As for sports fans in general, we tend to rage a lot, yelling from the couch. Do you have one that comes to mind, or do you want me to go? My
Rage of the Week would probably be the Rams' handling of the backup quarterback situation. I'd like to give the guy today, Ripken, the benefit of the doubt that he was playing in the rain on the road at Lambeau, and for me to expect a stellar performance might be a bit of a over expectation, high expectations, but at the end of the day, dude, you're an NFL quarterback. I need you to just hit the layups, put the ball where it needs to be.
Just make the checkdowns.
You got Cooper Kupp, you got Puka Nacua, you got Tutu, Higbee. We got a running game. We got an O-line. It shouldn't. I felt like I could have played better than he did today. It is very disappointing to watch.
Right. Oh, man. That's it?
I think for me, that's it, yeah.
My Rage of the Week is, another football-related one just because it's fresh in my mind. Dallas Cowboys. Where do I start? I'll start off positive. You guys went into Philadelphia. You guys played a hard game. You made the stops. You scored. You shot yourself in the foot a couple of times. Yes, that Gilmore was a BS call. But at the end of the day, when Philadelphia turns the ball over at the end of the fourth quarter and you get a PI, a roughing the passer that puts you into the red zone, you can't shoot yourself in the foot with the offside, with delay of game. You can't give up sacks. You can't do that. We said it earlier. You might blame Mike McCarthy. I know he's a good coach. I know he won a Super Bowl. I really haven't liked any of his calls that he's made recently, especially like the last few playoffs. I think it came down to coaching. But there's really no excuse. We're out of timeout. Dak Prescott, you gotta get the ball off, bro. You gotta pay attention to the play clock. We could have won that game. Shot ourselves in the foot. I'm not as mad as I am now, but it is what it is. On to next week. Okay, that's all I have to say. Okay. Then last segment. We'll call it unsung hero. Just like something that was good in sports that needs more acknowledgement. Okay. My unsung hero of the week. I don't know. It was making its way on social media all over again, but I would say D-Hop handing the ball to his mom who's blind. I don't know why all of a sudden it started happening on social media.
Scoring touchdowns.
Yeah, scoring touchdowns. There it is.
Yeah.
Scoring touchdowns, handing the football to his mom. It's really beautiful. Suffered an injury that left her blind, or an accident. And beautiful moment. Deserves more attention. I think that's a great touchdown celebration. And off to you.
After time brainstorming, I have decided to go with the Raiders interim coach getting his first win as an NFL head coach. To me, the whole situation was sticky. Me and Luke have a friend that is a Raider fan. We were telling him that I think the Raiders need a coach with a little chip, with a little edge.
Bring back that Raider
kind of bring back that Raider mentality of just hard hat and lunch pail vibes, just
blue collar, don't care what you say.
Hit someone in the mouth, whatever. But obviously in a modern, maybe less criminal-ish aspect.
Just a hard-nosed football team.
But for me, that's my unsung hero of the week.
For sure. What's his name? Give him his credit.
Antonio Pierce.
Antonio Pierce. Hey, good job,
Raiders.
All right. See you next time.